I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, when you throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713 through the 281, yeah, I'm riding.
Derrick Rose is one of the most tragic stories in NBA history. Not only did he snap his ACL, he also snapped his legacy. He went from being an NBA MVP to a forgotten star, which many MVPs do when they get up there in age, but Derrick Rose is still quite young, being 28. He should be entering his prime, but in reality, he's entering an all-time low in his career. There is a lot of discussion about how Derrick Rose might be the only MVP in NBA history that will not make it into the Hall of Fame, and I can only agree with this statement. Derrick Rose started off extremely well in his career, taking the throne from Wes Unseld as the youngest player to win the Most Valuable Player award, and he even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals that year. But from there on, it has been downhill for Rose, with injuries taking the better of him. On Rose's resume, he has 3 All-Star selections, was the Rookie of the Year in 2009, and he was of course the MVP in 2011. Considering that he did this all by the young age of 22, you would think that Rose would have a Hall of Fame worthy career, but sadly, you are wrong. Derrick Rose injured his ACL in the first round of the 2012 playoffs. Usually when a player injures his ACL, it takes away the athleticism that the player once had, and Rose definitely had a lot of athleticism. Although Derrick tried his hardest to come back better than ever, he just couldn't, as he could not perform with the determination and athleticism that once made him great. One of Derrick Rose's biggest flaws before his injury was the fact that he was a poor shooter, shooting 28% from 3. As he could not drive as effectively as he used to, he was forced to shoot more, and although he had a career high in his 3-point percentage in 2013, he would drop off a lot after that, averaging 26% from 2014 to 2017. The fact that he can't shoot created a flaw for the Bulls and Knicks offense, as Rose was a huge vulnerability as he couldn't shoot or drive as effectively as he used to. This caused both organizations to somewhat shun Rose out of the offense, which is something that Rose would have had nightmares about back in his MVP days. This is shown as Derrick Rose went from having a 23.5 PER season in 2011 to a 17 PER this year. If we look at the PER reference chart, you can see that Rose went from a definite all-star to a third option. Speaking of third options, Rose is the third option in New York. The New York offense revolves around Carmelo Anthony and Kristaps Porzingis, with Derrick Rose, a former MVP, being the third option. Has anyone ever heard of a 28-year-old former MVP being the third option? I don't think so. If we compare him to other Hall of Fame guards, you will see that he fares quite well, but considering that he was one of the most explosive scorers to come from the point guard position, he should have much higher stats. If we compare Rose to Allen Iverson, who I feel is the only player that Rose played similar to, we can see that there is a significant difference in both points and steals. Another thing that will keep him out of the Hall of Fame is the fact that he was only relevant for a few seasons. Now, I'm not saying that Rose isn't respected now, but at his best, Rose was considered a top 5 player in the league, and now he would be lucky to be considered top 100. If he was a future Hall of Famer, he should still be quite relevant, now more than ever, as he should be in his prime, being 28 years of age. One thing that may contradict this argument is the fact that Bill Walton, another man who won an MVP and was plagued by injuries, made it into the Hall of Fame. In many ways, Walton and Rose's career were similar. Walton had a 20 PER in his career, whilst Rose had an 18.1, and Rose has played 470 games compared to Walton's 468. So if both players had a similar career, and Walton made it into the Hall of Fame, then why can't Rose? The answer is quite simple. Walton had a much better resume, both in the NBA and in college. Walton has 2 NBA championships, Rose has none. Walton also had a far better college career, leading the UCLA Bruins to 2 national championships, and once led them to an 88-game winning streak. Rose couldn't even win the NCAA championship. Rose also averaged 14.9 points per game and 4.7 assists per game, which, considering that he was the top prospect in the draft, is not great. To put things into perspective, Walton averaged 20.3 points per game and 15.7 rebounds per game in his college career. All in all, Rose is one of the NBA's biggest what-ifs. He was extremely unfortunate to suffer the injuries that he sustained. Now, he could turn it all around and make me eat my words, but the likelihood of him doing that, especially as he's getting older, is quite low. I'm also not hating on Derrick Rose. He was a phenomenal player a few years ago, but I just don't believe that he'll make the Hall of Fame. Anyways, that concludes the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. You'll get a free Shaq soda. That's it guys, I'm just here though, signing out. Peace.